Welcome to the Vol Bros, presented by the Ooltewah Club. My name is Evan. This is my brother, Brangav Arvid Keelan. That was a tough one. It's been a while since Ruston's had a good name on there, so it's good to have that back. We are the two Vol Bros who are actually bros in real life. And as always, we are very appreciative of the Ooltewah Club and their support and sponsorship of us. They are fantastic. We strongly encourage you to get out there, play some pickleball, play some golf. Meet us out there. We'll play golf. I'll play golf any day, any day. So I'm not even good at it, but I'm trying. What a night. What a night. A 12-inning game just concluded like 30 minutes ago. We're certainly going to talk about that. So far, let's see here. I'm going to toggle a switch on. Looky there. So StreamYard is beta testing a chat overlay. And I'm curious if one of our channel members comments, Sandra's comment, Elijah's a channel member. I didn't show Elijah's name badge on there either. We're getting closer, StreamYard. We're getting closer. Can someone try to use one of our custom emojis so if we can see that in the bottom of the chat box there? That would be awesome if we could see that. That would at least be one step closer. Nope, dadgummit. Well, I've tried, y'all. I've talked to StreamYards. I've talked to their help desk for so long, and it just still didn't work. Well, darn. Okay. Well, we tried. We're going to keep trying. We're almost StreamYard. Almost. Well, we hope everybody's having a great evening. We're having a great evening after what just happened. And really, here's the crux of our show tonight. Ruston, I'm gonna ask for your opinion on the baseball game, but here's how I'm gonna ask the opinion. I hadn't told him how I'm gonna ask this yet. I'm gonna ask you to rank on a scale of 0 to 10. And essentially, that is going to be equivalent to a percentage chance. So 2 is a 20%, 5 is a 50%, 7, 70%, 10, 100% chance. I would like to hear two things from you. Number one, and y'all let us know in the comments as well what you think the percent chance is. What is the percent chance that based on how Tennessee played today, they have now played themselves into hosting a regional? That's my first part of the question. And then the second part of that is, can you justify that based on what you saw today? What did you think about the game today? Those are my two questions for you. I'm sorry, Brangav Arvid Keelan.
Yeah. All right. Ask those again. I was hunting something as you were talking.
So percent chance, 10, 20, 70, 100. What is the percent chance that Tennessee baseball, based on what they did today, have now played themselves into hosting a regional? And you can give me a 1 out of 10 if you want to, and like a 2 will be equivalent to 20%, that kind of thing. And then 75%. After that, 70. You're saying 75% chance. Okay.
I agree with Chris Burke. And I've been saying this. Baseball's totally different than every other sport. The RPI matters. Strength of schedule matters. And Tennessee now has 18 wins in the SEC with a top 10 RPI. There has never been an 18-win team with a top 10 RPI in the SEC that didn't host. So Chris Burke brought it up live during the game. I think he's absolutely right. I can't hear you.
Oh, because I myself muted. My bad.
Yep.
Ricky said 100% chance, but Ricky's been saying that for a long time. He was telling me that the other day. Ricky also said if we win Saturday, we host the Supers. I don't think there's any chance we host Super Regionals. I just don't. Even if they win the SEC tournament, I don't think they host a Super Regional. Think about that. That means they would have to go from 21-8 in one weekend. I just don't see it. I'll give my percent chance on hosting a regional here in a second. Herb, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He said 90% chance. Let's see. Elijah said 70% honestly win the next game, and I think it's around 95%. Let's see here. Ricky said they aren't 21 in seeding. That's true. That's just D1 baseball rankings. I get that. That's true. Let's see. Mina Laggy said she pulled up the live chat on YouTube, but it's covering half of your face. Yes, if you are on YouTube, you can see the emojis. You can see the member badges, which we got a bunch of people with Summit Blue member badges now because they've been a member going over a month now. Let's see. Mississippi Vol, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He said, I agree, Evan will be on the road for supers. Jonathan said, it's getting close. We have to win, I think, one more game to host a regional. That I can get on board with. I'm about to give my percent chance for hosting here in a second. Jonathan said, no chance at hosting a super regional. Totally agree. I don't think that's possible. Herb said his thoughts on the game. Arvidsson keeps pitching like this lately, will pay dividends. Absolutely. Absolutely. Carl said, hey, Carl, good to have you, buddy. He said, I smell victory. Schlesk goes, oh, no, the real UT. And Carl, like that channel member badge there I see on there. We got a lot of channel members joining us right now. Appreciate you all very, very much. Let's see. Carl said, who are these guys? Yeah, it's been nice to see the baseball team playing a little better lately. Let's see here. I'm going to go back to the beginning and just go through the comments real quick. Mississippi Vols said, good Thursday evening. Once again, the real UT came out on top. Absolutely. Jonathan said, hello, Evan and Ruston chat family. Great win tonight for the Base Vols. Totally agree. Bobby, welcome, buddy. He said, huge win. Rhonda said, welcome, Rhonda. She said, let's go Vols. Always great to be a Tennessee fan. Hello, Volbros and chat family. Mina, like you said, bets on who we play Saturday. So we'll get to that here in just a little bit. Rhonda said that game is exactly what this team needed. Agreed. John said Arvidsson had his best game of this year. I agree. Totally agree. Herb said Gavin Keelan MVP today. Hard to argue with that too. I will say this. Gavin provided every young player, every kid who was watching that game tonight, he provided them with a very valuable life lesson. And that is, it doesn't matter how hard you hit the ball, hustle out of the box. That's what he taught them. Now, did it ultimately end up costing Tennessee a run? No. But he should have had a triple on that last hit of the game. That's the bottom line. Like even if he had been halfway running 50% out of the box, he would have had a triple. It was the fact that he walked the first 6 to 7 steps down the line. That is the reason he didn't end up with a triple. So always hustle out of the box, kids. Always hustle out of the box. Let's see here. But, I mean, kudos to Gavin. We do not win if he does not hit the ball the way he did. Elijah said, what's up, Rose? What a treat of a game of baseball we were able to watch. Absolutely. Let's see. Mina like. Look at this, Ruston. She says, sup, Evan, and sup, Slumdog. That's awesome. Let's see. Elijah said 2 of the best teams in the country going at it for 12 innings. You're exactly right, Elijah. You are exactly right.
Yep.
And what we saw tonight is exactly what we've been talking about for, weeks at least. People have been like, Tennessee, they're not going to be able to do anything in the postseason. They're choking us. Like that's why I said last time we were live, I was like, y'all just wait and see. I mean, this still is a very good team. The series that they've lost, several of them, they should not have lost. They gave them away. So, I mean, there's a reason why this team started, like Chris Burke said, there's a reason why this team started 20-0. There's a reason why they were number 1 in the country for weeks. It's because they're good. And so, I mean, like, we all knew they had this in them. They just had to put it together. And, when you look at what happened tonight and you think about, can this team make a run in the postseason? Absolutely, they can. They just beat the number one team in the country. So, I mean, absolutely. They can, on any given night, they can beat any team. That's the bottom line. Bobby said they needed these wins to get the momentum going. Is perfect timing. Absolutely. Totally agree. Let's see here. Herb said he thinks it's a 90% chance that we host a regional now. Okay, now I'm getting close to back up where I was. Carl said last few weeks these boys have found their fight. Absolutely. Mr. Osborne, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He said, I thought it was a gritty, tough performance by the Vols. They showed heart, didn't quit. Totally agree. Also, I say 70%, but if we keep winning in the SEC tournament, that goes up. And he used the Go Vols baby and the TriStar emojis there. Sanders said, do you guys think we win the next game?
I think it depends. I think it depends on who starts and who he starts against. I think it's probably going to be Tegan Coons. Vanderbilt already saw him. He had a short outing against them. He only went 3 2/3. Oklahoma has never seen him. So if it's Oklahoma, yeah, I think he can go out and he can keep them off balance, and we can probably outscore them. If it's Vanderbilt, it depends on who they start. When we played them in the series, that game 3 that Coons started, that's the game we lost 7-5. And we faced almost their entire bullpen. We didn't really light up anybody, but we had 11 hits. That was one of those games where we just couldn't score people. So I think if we can get into their bullpen again, I think we've seen everything they've got. We can absolutely outscore them this time. And I think we can just straight up beat Oklahoma because they haven't ever seen Tegan Coons.
Okay, people are going to call me a Negavol. That's okay. So I'm going to try to be a realistic Vol. That's what I'm going to try to be right now. I agree with Ruston, everything he just said. My concern, and if you're, thinking, why would you be concerned about that? I think we saw a case study of it tonight. A true freshman in a SEC tournament semifinal game, starting on the mound. How can that true freshman respond? Tegan Coons will be starting the next game. Like that's what's going to happen. How does he respond? Everybody, even Chris Burke, man, he was hyping up that 6'6" true freshman for Texas, SEC freshman of the year. And he came in and threw really well. And then ultimately gave up the game-winning, almost home run, but game-winning double. How does a true freshman respond in that situation? I don't know. Tennessee is now, I don't think you'll definitely won't see Marcus Phillips or Liam Doyle or Brandon Arvidsson again. You might see Nate Snead in a championship game. I don't know if they'll bring Nate Snead. He didn't throw too many pitches, but he did throw 2 2/3. Is that right? Yeah, 2 2/3.
Yeah.
So I would doubt it that you'd even see him on Saturday. You might see him in a championship matchup. I guarantee you're going to see a whole bunch of Dylan Loy. I guarantee that. I'll personally guarantee that on Saturday.
I forgot Vanderbilt got the double bye, so they're going to throw their ace tonight against Oklahoma. We're going to see Cody Bowker, which is the kid we faced in game 2 that we lit up. And then we hit their bullpen pretty hard every game after that, the rest of game 2 and all of game 3. So actually, I think whether we face Vanderbilt or Oklahoma, we should win.
I agree with that. Can they win? Yes. Do I think they will win based on how they're hitting the ball right now? I do. Do I think Tegan Coons is going to give up some runs? 100%. Do I think Dylan Moy is probably going to come in first relief and then pitch 2 to 3 innings and look really good? Yeah, I do. So that's what I think is going to end up happening. We're about to see a lot of Dylan Loy over the next 3 to 4 weeks of baseball, depending on how long Tennessee stays in this thing. I guess 3 weeks. But I hope they do. I'll put it that way. Now, I haven't given my answer yet for my percent chance that they host a regional. Of any team in the SEC that Tennessee could have beaten to help their chances, it was Texas. That was the biggest help they could have done for themselves, was beating Texas tonight. Do committees have recency bias? 100% yes, they do. If you had asked me before the SEC tournament started, and Ricky knows this because I told him. I told him my opinion on this before the tournament started, or as we were watching the first game. If you had asked me my opinion, can Tennessee host a regional, I would have said 0%. Because I don't see how they could have jumped so much in 1 week, one weekend. However, people have recency bias. Tennessee's ripping the cover off the ball right now. It's not that they're winning, it's that they are hitting the ball so well. That's what's causing people to turn their heads like, wow, they scored 15 runs in game 1 of the SEC tournament against a top 25 team in Alabama. Then they turn around and beat the number 1 team in the country in 12 innings by out-hitting them down the stretch. That's what's causing people to turn their attention to Tennessee. If they win, I'll say this: if they win their next game, the semifinal game in the SEC tournament, I'll go all the way to 95% they host. But as of right now, depending on what happens in this next game, I'm going to say 45% right now. Because they're still, yes, they're playing well right now, but recency bias is a two-way street. If they don't play well in the next game, all of a sudden, oh, that's the Tennessee we saw for part of the month of May. And then they're right back where they were. So that's my take on it. Ricky just made a comment that we cannot endorse as Vol Bros, but it is somewhat humorous. So I'm going to put it on the screen. He said, the Oklahoma catcher just took the ball in the Adam's apple. One can only hope it happens to the Vandy Whistler next.
He'd have to be in a weird angle because there's a lot of netting around that field.
Is the Whistler at the game? I'm sure he is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That dude, that's the most annoying fan in the history of baseball.
I love that SEC Network puts mics on these kids in between games and sits there and chats with them while they're warming up. Like that has been the most ingenious thing they've done. Did you see the pregame interview with Vanderbilt's best player, Riley Nelson?
No.
He had the quote of the night. They asked him, they were like, so Riley, how's it feel to be done with classes and all you have to do is just show up every day and play baseball? You don't have to do any academics or go to class. And he's like, yeah, it feels like I'm back at JUCO. And they're like, what do you mean? He goes, well, I'm at Vanderbilt. I have to go to class now. When I was at JUCO, I never went to class. And then he made it even better. He goes, let's be honest, boys. If it wasn't for baseball, I'm not getting accepted at Vanderbilt. It was great.
That's good. I like that. That's good. Let's see.
He said, sometimes I just sit in class and all these people around me who had 4.0s in high school are talking and I just sit there and listen.
Elijah said, we're hitting our stride at the perfect time. Yesterday was an unbelievable hitting performance and our pitching held it down today. Just enough for us to get the bats going. Really like what I've seen. Yeah, totally agree. Herb said, go Lady Vols tomorrow night. Yep, we'll talk about that here in just a minute. Mina Leggy says she likes that Summit Blue badge. I do too. I really do. Elijah said, also leaving Arvidsson in the ninth was a very questionable decision. Almost cost us the game. I mean, dude was rolling. I mean,
yeah.
And if you can finish out the game, potentially steal, a game without having to put another arm out there, that helps you down the road. But you're right. It almost backfired real bad. Kudos to Nate Snead coming in for getting 2 straight strikeouts. Mississippi Vols said, let's honor our Diamond Vols by hitting that like and subscribe button. Hey, I think it's a great idea. Fantastic. Herb, in reference to Gavin, said, I think he's hurt a little bit. Hopefully not that hamstring again. Yeah, they were theorizing about that as they watched him around the bases. He kind of admitted after the game he should have been on third. He in the post-game presser, but he knew he messed up when he was realizing it. He said when he hit it, he thought he hit the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Those were his exact words. He's like, when I hit it, I thought it was going to hit off the scoreboard. Then I thought it was going to be a sac fly. And then the guy dropped it. And he's like, uh-oh. So he thought, first of all, I hit a home run off the scoreboard. Then he thought, well, I'm not getting on base. It's just going to be a sacrifice fly. That guy's about to catch it. But then he dropped it. And the thing that really made it to where he should have been able to get to third easily was he didn't just drop it. The ball kicked out of his glove away from him and the right fielder. So both of them had to get up and run to the ball. Well, every step that they take to the ball, that's one more step Gavin Keelan has towards third. So, yeah, I hope he's not hurt at all. I hope not. Yeah, he didn't think he was going to be on base either way. He either thought he was going to have a nice little trot around the bases or have to go sit back down because of a sac fly. Elijah said, I loved Curly not making any errors today as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we only had what? Was Arvidsson's error the only one? I think there were 2. I think there was one other one. I can't remember what it was, though. I think we had 2. Rhonda said, seeing them fight it out was the most satisfying, important part of it. Absolutely. They never gave up. You're exactly right. Did you find that box score, Ruston?
Trying. It's not wanting to load properly.
Jonathan said, I feel better now that we'll make a run in the tournament than I did a week ago. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Seeing those bats come alive eases a lot of people's minds. Elijah said down 4-0.
Two errors.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Elijah said down 4-0 and them getting Doyle off the mound had me thinking it was a loss. I totally agree. Love the fight from this team to not give up. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Great point. Carl said, I'll be honest, I keep waiting for the shoe to drop. That's that batter ball syndrome flaring up, Carl. I love it. That's great. Like he said, that error in the 10th inning was nearly my undoing. Bobby said, if it is Vandy, how do you think it'll be after the way the series ended and with the almost brawl between them? Oh, it's going to be tense.
Yeah, it'll be real chippy, and SEC will have the umpires on full alert, so they'll try to rein it in fast.
Like you said, Vegas actually had us beating Texas today. Huh. Hey, man, somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. Mississippi Vols said, I'm thinking somewhere around 40% for now. Win Saturday, and I think we do for sure. Yeah, I mean, that's my take. I'm saying 45% right now. If you win in the semifinals, then you host. I think that's definitely, if they win in the semifinals, I don't see how they don't host. But I think it's still kind of up in the air right now. Herb said he thinks Tegan Coons is going to go out and pitch his best game of the year. Man, I hope you're right. It's rising to the occasion. I love that. That's what I'm talking about. Nolan, welcome, buddy. Here's a channel member. He said, I'm currently on vacation at Hilton Head, South Carolina at the Salty Dog Cafe. The land band starts playing Rocky Top, and I'm wearing my Tennessee hat. Long story short, another Vol fan was here tonight. I love it. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. He said the guy was sitting 2 tables over, and we saw each other and both yelled, woohoo, go Vols, at each other across the patio. That's what I'm talking about, man. Hey, tell him about the Vol Bros. Text a buddy or text the dude at the restaurant there and say, hey, go to the volbros.com. We appreciate you, Nolan, joining us from South Carolina. I hope you have a great vacation. I hope you have a fantastic time while you're there. That's awesome. Jonathan said, I was glad to see them stretch Russell out, and he looked good yesterday. I believe he's a big part of the bullpen getting better at the right time.
I think we saw something real important. We saw them let him go 75 pitches. 75 pitches is a 5-inning quality start. So I think what they were really doing was they were prepping him for next week. I think next week he's our Game 3 starter. I think in the Super Regionals, he's our Game 3 starter.
Gary, welcome, Gary. He said he cashed in because Vegas had Tennessee winning today. Ricky said, this is the wrongest you've ever been on a take. So that was from 7 minutes ago. I'm not sure what I was talking about 7 minutes ago, but I think it was probably my % chance of us hosting. Ricky is never shy about telling me how wrong I am about stuff. What is humorous is I'm kind of right sometimes too. like a decent amount of the time. So we'll see. Elijah said, Oklahoma's got something brewing now.
Yep.
Jonathan said, I bet not many athletes spend much time in class during the season anywhere.
Oklahoma had something brewing, and Vanderbilt pitched out of it. They got nothing.
Carl said he bets that Gavin Keelan hustles from now on. Absolutely. Let's see. Oreo Puppy Dog looking, buddy. He said I was worried, but when Snead came in, I knew it was over, hitting 100 miles an hour. Yeah. Liam Doyle hit 99 today.
He hit 100. His second pitch of the game was 100.
Oh, really? Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it hit 99 at one point. That was in the fourth inning. Third inning. That's awesome. Now, you think about that, the difference there. Doyle hits 100. And the starting pitcher for Texas threw one pitch that was 69 miles an hour. So over a 30-mile-per-hour difference. No wonder it took him a while to get used to it. Let's see. Carl said, I think Doyle made an error, but certain 2 throws to first. Ricky said, like I was right about overthrow Joe. I was right about overthrow Joe. I think Ricky here, what he's talking about, Ricky was very much on the Nico Iamaleava bandwagon from day one. He thought Nico should be starting over Joe Milton 2 years ago. However, I think last year Nico proved that I was right, that Joe Milton should have been starting over Nico Iamaleava. So I think that you shouldn't have brought that one up, Ricky, because I think that's a tally mark in my win column right there. Ricky knows probably way more than me about Tennessee athletics, especially the history of Tennessee athletics. But I think I had that one on you right there, Ricky. Let's see. Ricky Bishop, welcome, buddy. He said Doyle had an error. Yep.
How hard is it to convert an Iamaleava jersey into an Aguilar jersey?
Well, there's another fun topic. Who will be starting? Ricky said 10-2 versus 8-4. Huh?
Joe's senior year, they were 8-4. Nico's first year, they were 10-2.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah. How much of that was Nico and how much of it was Dylan Sampson? That's my question right there. I think we could all agree Joe had a better performance. I mean, my goodness, Heupel had to take the ball out of Nico's hands at times, i.e. at Oklahoma. And he even told him after the game, hey, I knew we could win it with our defense. Basically, like, I knew I didn't want you to blow it for us. This is essentially what he's saying there. Yeah, Carl said, not because of Nico, it was Dylan Sampson in our defense. Exactly. Sanders said, I love how our softball team's looking as well. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll talk about them here in a minute. So now I have a different question, and I'd like everybody to weigh in on this too. Ricky, you too, I want you to weigh in too. Here's another question that I have for you. Now you're going to be like, well, of course we do, but I'm going to say, really, do you? Do we want to host a regional? And immediately you're going to say, well, yes, of course we do. But wait a second. If we sneak in as the 16 seed and we host a regional, if we win, then we have to go play a super regional at Texas. So I reiterate, do you want to host a regional? Or do you want to be, I don't know, maybe the 18 seed? And then if we go play at whoever the 15 seed is, regional, we're the 2 seed, and we win that regional, then we don't have to go to Texas. Then we go to Florida State and play a super regional at Florida State. So would it be awesome to host a regional? Of course it would be. Yes, of course it would be. But do you really want to in the long run, knowing what would be next in the supers? That's the thing here. If we are the 16 or the 17 seeds, either one, if you win that regional, you have to go play at Texas in a super. The team we just played, do you really want to go play best 2 out of 3 in their park? Or would you rather go play at Florida State? Give me Florida State all day, every day.
I don't think you saw the latest top 25. Florida State's number 6. The final ranking,
them too?
Yeah, the final rankings, LSU's number 1, Texas is number 2, North Carolina's number 3. If I was going to
D1 baseball drop Texas after Texas won?
Yes, they're number 2.
What? That's the dumbest thing ever. Why would they do that?
So if it were me, I don't want to go to LSU. Honestly, I'm not as worried about going to Texas. They tend to be choke artists. Really want to be number 18. I want to go to North Carolina.
Sign me up for that.
That would probably
be number 19 in that situation.
That would probably be Clemson regional and then at North Carolina. Those are 2 very overrated teams. I could go for that.
I mean, I don't think you want to go a Texas team with revenge on their mind at Texas in a best. Ricky, what? Ricky told me to stop it. That I was saying, do we even want to host? And
the reality is, if we're the 16 seed and we host, then that means we go to LSU for the supers.
Yeah, and do you want to do that? I personally don't. I would much rather have a better chance of making it to Omaha than just hosting a regional. I'm trying to play the long game here. Ricky said we're going to be the 11 to 14 seed. I mean, that would be wonderful. I hope that's right. But that means I don't think we get anywhere near that unless they win the SEC tournament. Like that would have to be jumping a bunch of folks. Because another thing you got to consider here is at this point, if you say we're going to be the 11, let's just say 11. If you say we're going to be the 11 seed, that means we have to jump and leapfrog a whole bunch of other teams from other conferences. Teams that performed very well in their conference and may also win their conference tournaments. And so we would leapfrog them even though they were multiple spots ahead of us in the rankings beforehand. I guess that shows, if that happens, that would show that the committee really values the SEC and the strength of schedule, which they should. I agree, they should.
Well, they typically put the highest premium on RPI and record against top 25. So if they do that, that immediately drops Coastal Carolina, Southern Miss, UCLA, Georgia Tech. Like they all drop in that scenario. I just don't know that they can drop that many people that far. It would be hard to justify that.
Rebel Jew, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He said that Tennessee Alabama game was great. Tennessee is Bama's daddy in baseball and football. Minalagi said, aren't we getting kicked out of the SEC?
No.
Here's my take on that. No chance. That's my take on that. She agrees. She said, yeah, I don't think they want to try us again. I don't think we will. The reason being is because Tennessee and Alabama were the two founding schools of the Southeastern Conference.
The reason being is we're the third largest revenue producer in the conference. That's the real reason.
Too. Yeah, that too. But I mean, you're not going to kick out one of the founding members of the conference.
The other reason is they're not going to hold us accountable for a new policy in the state of Tennessee that's existed in the state of Missouri for 2 years. So, if they have an issue with us, then they should have had an issue with Missouri 2 years ago.
Bobby said, I say we focus on winning the SEC tournament, host a regional because we earned it. And wherever we go for super regional, we go have the momentum going with us. Yeah, I mean, listen, at this point, you're in the semifinal. Just win the thing. Just win the SEC tournament. That would be their best chance of getting up to like the 11 seed, like Ricky was talking about. If you can jump all the way up to 11, yeah, let's host it. But if you're going to be stuck at like the 16 or 15 spot, I don't want to go to one of the top two teams in the country and try to play a best 2 out of 3 at their place with a berth at Omaha on the line. I'd rather go somewhere. I'd rather go play an ACC school because ACC was way overrated this year. So that's what I'd do. I'd like to go play at an ACC school personally because I want to go to Omaha. That's the goal for the team. Listen, everybody's goal is a national championship. In my opinion, if you make it to Omaha, that's a heck of a season. That should be the goal because anything can happen in Omaha once you get there. Sanders said, do the softball team host Nebraska? Yes, they do. Starting tomorrow night at 7:00. Like he said, third Saturday in May, Bama. It's the third Tuesday this time. Or third Wednesday. What is today? Thursday? Yeah. So it's third Wednesday. Rhonda said, no matter where we go, there's a team who wants revenge on us for sure. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Carl said, no matter where we go, it's going to come down to winning. That's a good point, Carl. It typically does come down to winning. I think he meant to put something else on there too. Bobby said, did you see Zakai file a lawsuit to get a 5th year of eligibility? Yes, I did see that. Which was interesting because it was the day after they released this documentary about Zakai, like, thanks for the memories kind of thing. And oh, wait, he's trying to try to come back.
There's only one reason. There's only one reason you file that, and that's if you think you legitimately are going to win.
Yeah. Rebel G made a good point. He said, imagine if they did kick us out of the SEC. He said they won't, but if they did, we would dominate the ACC every year. Yeah, that's true. That's exactly right. Absolutely. So let's talk about tomorrow, because tomorrow night, best 2 out of 3 series when Nebraska kicks off, I guess you could say. Interesting thing about this series was supposed to be broadcast on ABC. The initial thing that came out said it's going to be on ABC. It was the only super regional in the softball tournament that was going to be broadcast on ABC. All the rest were ESPN and other affiliates. But then it changed, and now it's not going to be on ABC anymore. I don't know what happened, but tomorrow night, Game 1 against Nebraska. Carl said, no, he didn't mean to put anything else. He's not even sure what the point was. But you're right, Carl. I mean, it comes down to winning, right? Like you win, you advance. If you don't, you go home. So tomorrow night, 7:00 p.m. on ESPN2, Nebraska plays Tennessee in Knoxville. That is going. I mean, listen. If you want to see a pitching duel, turn on ESPN2 tomorrow night at 7 p.m. because you're going to have. I mean, I don't think it's even arguably. I think it just is the two best pitchers in the country
easily
facing off against each other.
It's
Is that
not
fair?
close. Yeah, it's not close.
Yeah.
They're 100% the two best pitchers in the country.
So, what do you think the final score, the winning score, would be tomorrow night? Don't tell me who you think wins. Tell me how many runs do you think wins the game?
I think it'll be 2-1 if Tennessee wins. If Oklahoma wins, if Nebraska wins, it's going to be 1-0.
Yeah, I totally agree. Let's see here. Elijah said he thinks the magic number's 3. 3 runs wins the game. Listen, I will say this: if either team scores 3 runs, they will win the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't see how. I don't see how either team could score more than 3 because it's going to be. I mean, who was the pitcher back in like the early to mid 2000s for Arizona? Somebody.
Osterman.
Osterman? Yeah. It was. You remember there was a game where it was. I think it was Tennessee, Arizona, and it was Monica Abbott against Cat Osterman, and it was just like unbelievable pitching duel. It was amazing. That's the kind of stuff we're going to see tomorrow night. Like that equivalent. Carl said 7-0 Lady Vols. Book it. Hey man, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Elijah said, here we are thinking it's going to be like 1-0. He's like, it's going to be 12-10 or something crazy. Herb said, what happened when we played Nebraska earlier this year? So
we got
Tennessee,
smoked.
Yeah. Tennessee's very first game of the season for softball this year was against Nebraska on a neutral site, and Nebraska won 7-1. So this is a tough super regional matchup. If they make it to Oklahoma City, they will have earned it. Like that's the reality here. Rhonda said Carl's being positive. She loves it. Let's see here. Carl said ESPN messing with the Vols again, playing which channel roulette. Sanders asked, do we think Zakai and Gainey are coming back?
Yes.
Herb said that's exactly right. Herb, he said if you went this far, be like Jake Taylor and win the Major League movie, win the whole dang thing. Absolutely. I mean, you might as well at this point, right? Like you're going to the semifinals, so just win it now.
I don't think Zakai files that paperwork for that lawsuit unless they felt very strongly they could win. And I've been saying for weeks, Jordan Gainey would not be posting all the stuff he's posting unless they were very confident he was returning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, my goodness. In the last 2 innings, Oklahoma's first baseman had a routine ball thrown to him, pop out of his glove, and he just dropped a routine pop-up in the infield. 2 innings in
Oklahoma or Vanderbilt?
Oklahoma's first baseman. They had a ground ball to third. Third baseman threw it to him right at his chest or slightly high, popped out of his glove, and he just dropped a routine pop-up in the infield. It's not his night.
Let's see here. Elijah said this has to be the best super regional, right? Yes, I think so. Simply because of the pedigree of the pitching. And I think, honestly, that's why I think ABC and ESPN recognize that too. Because, like I said, they released a graphic on the Twitter. They released that earlier this week, and it listed the TV stations for every. Carl said he just dropped another one. They released the TV stations for every super regional. The only one that had ABC listed next to it was Tennessee, Nebraska. And then something happened between then and now. And now tomorrow night at 7 is going to be on ESPN2. Saturday at 5 o'clock is going to be on ESPN. And then there will be an if necessary game on Sunday, but that one is not listed as to what channel it would be on yet. So you got tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on ESPN2, Saturday night, 5 o'clock, ESPN. Let's see. Oh, TK, that's cold, man. That's cold. He said, is Dean Curley playing first base for Oklahoma? That's cold, buddy. That's cold. Elijah asked a good question. He said, what are the grounds for Zakai getting another year? Is it the injury? So I'm curious to hear your take, because I haven't. People aren't probably gonna like my take either.
So essentially, he's looking around and going, I played 4 seasons in 4 years. Everybody else is getting 5. So why don't I get 5? And so they're, and that's a lot of the conversation around the guys who are coming from JUCO who are getting an extra year. They're saying prep school doesn't count. They're saying some JUCO doesn't count. And so, Zakai's just looking at the numbers and going, this doesn't make sense. If they all get 5 years, why don't I? And so they're going to use the NCAA's own verbiage against them to get his 5th year.
So, yes. And Rhonda hit the nail on the head. One of the lines in the paperwork submitted, they shouldn't have done it. I don't know why that this was even brought up, but they said that essentially one of the grounds upon which they're requesting a 5th year is Zakai's financial. It would be detrimental to Sakai financially to not be allowed to play another season, because he can make at least or more, probably over $2 million in NIL money this next season. So it would be a detrimental impact on him to deny him a 5th year. Okay, I'm sorry. That should not have been an argument for it. NIL should not determine eligibility. That's just the way. If they start going down that road, man, we are really far gone.
But lawyers don't write things like that unless there's a precedent. So somewhere previously, some judge has made the statement that it would be disadvantageous financially to someone for them not to get a year of eligibility back. So all they're doing is they're just citing past precedent. They don't just come up with stuff like that as a reason. They're citing other court cases and saying, well, you said it here, so you got to say it over here too. Yep. They don't ever just come up with a new precedent. They're always looking to rehash the past.
Personally, I think the angle that they should be taking is, why is Diego Pavia and Chad Baker-Mazara still playing basketball next year and Zakai can't? Or football and basketball next year and Zakai can't? Yeah. Personally, I think that's the route they should be taking. Because Chad Baker-Mazara is about to have his 11th year in college basketball. That's the route they should be going. Minolagi said, get thee to Oklahoma. Matt, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He said, just jumping in, bros. Work road trip. If Ziegler and Gainey come back, that'd be awesome. I'm thinking we're looking at a Final Four team, folks. If they come back, I think that's totally fair. Dale, welcome, Dale. Good to have you. Channel member, he said, not sure hosting is good. Been playing better on the road. That's a fair assessment. Let's be honest. When Tennessee went to LSU a month ago, they should have won that series, and they gave game 1 away. That's fair. Dester said, how about those baseballs? Absolutely, man. They're playing extremely well. Channel member, appreciate you, Dester. Let's see here. Jonathan said, I really like our chances to win the national championship if Zakai and Gainey both come back. We'll have great depth and multiple scores, not just one score. Yeah, agreed.
And the one thing we'll have that we have not had the last year or two is athleticism. We have gotten a lot of athletes in the portal and
Matt
in
said, "Oh
recruiting.
yeah." He said, "Oh yeah," and horns down, baby. Let's see. Oh, Herb made a good point. He said, "Wish Osuna had the same opportunity to have another season." Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Yeah, Mina Laggy said that the paperwork said 2 to 4 million. That's exactly right. Yeah, I knew it was over 2 million. Rhonda said, "If Sakai gets to come back, bring it on." Carl said the Sooners are shooting themselves in the foot right now. Elijah said
they did, and then the floodgates opened. Vanderbilt just scored 3 runs.
Elijah said Chad Baker Mazar having another year is just stupid. It makes no sense. Miyagi said, "Yes, come on, Oklahoma." She said that ship has sailed with those two dudes. Totally different circumstances. Carl said home field not the same this year, so he agrees. Just go on the road. Jonathan said Baker Mazar is signing an NIL deal with AARP. He is old enough to retire. That's pretty good. Josh, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He said, just hopped on a scale of 1 to 10. How worried should we be about Nebraska? Is it literally just Jordy Ball and no one else? Sounds like they are a one-woman team.
So from a pitching perspective, it's just Jordy Ball. So if you can get past her, you can absolutely score lots of runs on their other pitchers. They don't have anybody else. From a hitting perspective, they're one of the best hitting teams in the country. I just pulled up their numbers. Team batting average is 356. There's Jordy, and then there's another girl named Ava Kuzak. Both of them have hit over 20 home runs this year. They hit 1 and 2 in the order, so you can't pitch around them. You've got to go after them. So they can score runs. I think the thing that jumps out about them the most to me is at away sites, whether it's true road games or neutral site, they are 28 and 11. So going on the road does not scare them. They hit everywhere they go. And it's going to be a challenge for Carlin Pickens. These girls, I mean, they're top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Their top 12 hitters all hit over 300. So they can swing it.
Well, and on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to say 7 because that's how many runs they scored against us the first time we played them. It is not going to be an easy regional. And Carlin Pickens pitched that game. Like they scored off her. So, it's now, is she better now? Yeah, she is 100%. But it's certainly not going to be an easy game.
And as a team, we're better now. Like they've learned what lineup works for them. They've got girls hitting really, really well right now. Like we're peaking at the right time. It's going to be a fantastic series.
Let's see. Carl said, "Where is the player the NCAA held up in baseball?" Are you talking about Osuna, Alberto Osuna?
He's just sitting in the dugout waiting on the draft. He's going to be gone after this year.
Yep. Herb said, "Okay, if Zakai and Gainey come back, how does that affect Gillespie and the starters?"
So Gainey loves coming off the bench. He's already kind of joking about being back-to-back 6th man of the year. So I think your starters become, and honestly, I really like this. I think your starting 5 is Zakai and Gillespie in the backcourt. So you've got 2 insanely fast point guards who can both score, both from spot shooting and off the dribble. Nate Ament starts at the 3, so you've got a 6'10", insane athlete, one and done future NBA guy at the 3, a la Kevin Durant. And then the kid that transferred from Vanderbilt at the 4 and Felix at the 5. And then you've got Cade and JP Estrella platooning off the bench with the 2 of them. You've got the kid from Louisiana Tech, Gainey, probably Amari Evans coming off the bench for wing and guard depth. Like, you got a lot of options, and they're all good.
Yeah, it sounds fun to me. Sign me up for that. Josh said, I know we haven't been great at home, but I still want to host the regional. Our bats are coming on now. We're hitting it hard. We have a lot of home runs at home in a regional, in my opinion. I agree totally. Listen, if they host a regional, I expect them to win it. The problem is what happens after the regional. That's the problem. Like, I want to go to Omaha. So put me in a spot in a regional where if I win my regional, I get to go play an ACC school, not at an SEC stadium where people hate me like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's my take. Jonathan said we should be worried about Jordy Balls. She could easily shut us down. I believe she's one of, if not the best pitchers in college softball. Yeah, I mean, top two, like her and Carlin. That's it. Josh said, I know I'm late, and sure you talked about it, but having Arvidsson and AJ Russell pitching like they are now is massive. 100% agree.
Yep.
I mean, there's no doubt. Like what we saw this weekend tonight, was Arvidsson best outing of the season. Like that was easily his best outing.
Well, and I said earlier, I think AJ Russell going 75 pitches shows that come regional, he's the number 3 starter, and come super regional, he's the number 3 starter. I think Tegan Coons gets rolled to the bullpen,
which would be to our betterment, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Rhonda said, if it's Gillespie and Zakai starting in the backcourt, it would be like the days of Kennedy Chandler and Zakai. Yeah, that's fair. Let's see. Well, I said if we get both Zakai and Gainey back, this team will truly be elite. Agreed. Let's see. He said easily the best team Barnes has had. Tim, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He said, hey, guys, good to have you, Tim. Like I said, oh, get my smelling salts. Go Big Orange basketball. Josh said, I just think the ladies have seen a ton of Jordy Balls in conference play. She's no longer the hardest throw in softball, and we are used to seeing that. Jonathan said,
She throws 4 pitches anytime she wants, anywhere in the count. It's not just speed with her. She mixes well. She has some really unique spin. I would not say there's anybody else in the conference as good as her.
Let's see here. John said, if we can get past Nebraska, I feel like we have a great shot to win the championship. The only other team that scares me is Oklahoma. Yeah, I mean, when you look at teams that are still in it, okay, Texas and Oklahoma are both. I think Texas A&M is gone; they're not in anymore. But Texas and Oklahoma are still in it, and we beat both of them at their place in a 2 out of 3 series. So I mean, you got to like Tennessee's chances when they get to, if they get to Oklahoma City. But you're right; the first round in Oklahoma City would be against Oklahoma. So they would have to beat them right when they get there. Let's see here.
Yeah, don't overlook that number 3 Florida or number 5 Florida State. That Florida State coaching staff might be the best coaching staff in the entire country. They will show up ready to play absolutely anyone, and they will have a game plan for everybody they face that is second to none.
Josh said, are we bullish on Zakai and Gainey coming back? Rustin, give your take on that, because I
would say it's 100%. Jordan Gainey's been talking for weeks about this. The university would not be letting him put the stuff out publicly that he's putting out unless they know he's coming back. And Zakai, I don't, the old adage is anyone can sue any day if there's a lawyer who's willing to take it. Well, in Zakai's situation, it's a little different. No lawyer is going to waste time and money on a lawsuit that they don't think they can win in this scenario. And so I don't think Zakai files that paperwork unless they feel very confident they're going to win.
Jonathan made a great point. He said, I know we beat Oklahoma earlier this year, but they are the 4-time defending champs for a reason. You're exactly right.
Yeah, Jordy Ball.
Right.
She's the reason. She's 3 of the 4.
Bobby said, getting Jordan Gainey and Zakai back and the new assistant coach, this team will be high tempo with a solid defense. They'll be extremely hard to beat with lots of depth. They will be in the championship game. I mean, that's
tried
fair.
to go back.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
Really good assessment.
I'm blanking. What is the new assistant coach's name? I
Amaro.
should know this. Huh?
Amaro.
No. The actual coach. He's just a recruiter. Steve McLean. Well, I'm just being honest. I mean, you have guys on your staff that are good at recruiting and they don't do crap during practice, and you have guys who know basketball and they don't recruit because they need to be watching film. It's just reality. Steve McLean. I tried to go back and find the video so I could post it because they show all those NABC coaches clinics. They typically record those, but it was so long ago that I think it probably was on VHS. But for those who weren't listening, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about them hiring Steve McLean, and Steve's claim to fame was he was the head coach at Wyoming for a while. And when he was at Wyoming, they were an offensive juggernaut. I mean, they could score on anybody. But I was telling the story, I was at an NABC convention, and most years, Steve is an offensive genius, especially zone offense. And most years, Steve does the session on zone offense. And so BYU's coaching staff, at that time, Wyoming and BYU were in the same conference. BYU's coaching staff, and the whole staff, was sitting in the room taking notes on Steve McLean teaching his zone offense. And in the middle of the session, he stops, points them out, and tells the room who they are, and looks at them and says, and y'all hadn't stopped it yet, have you? And they all just nodded like, yeah, you're right. And just kind of rolled with it. He, in my opinion, was the absolute best hire Rick Barnes could possibly make, because he's got a really good defensive coach in Justin Gainey. He's got a really good developmental coach in Greg Polinsky. And now he's got an offensive genius in Steve McLean. And the Amaro guy's a really good recruiter. So, every box is checked.
I got a funny text I got to read you. So I'm going to put first of all, I'm going to clip out what you just said and make it a reel, because that was exactly right. It was fantastic. But Wayne, welcome, buddy. He said, in my opinion, I think this game was a huge win for the baseball team versus number 1 national seed. Totally agree. He said, and should put the Vols back into the top 16 in the country. Even the announcers mentioned it and said 9 to 12 seed, and they host. They were referencing national RPI when they mentioned those numbers.
There's going to be some really upset teams if they're as high as 9.
Yeah, because that means that other conference champions would be leapfrogged. So I just texted Ricky, and I said, you've got someone agreeing with you right now. He's saying UT gets a 9 to 12 seed. And Ricky said, I host the show if we do. And I said, deal. So Ricky might be hosting our show depending on where Tennessee is ranked Sunday night. Oh man, that's good. That'll be fun. Josh said, how would Gillespie feel about Zakai coming back?
He should love it. It allows him to be a true combo guard. Sometimes he can run the point. Sometimes he can be a shooter. It'll actually help him in his NBA draft stock because he can show versatility.
Dester said the ladies have to hit the ball. 100% agree.
Yep.
If they don't, they lose. It's really that simple. Wayne said, Ament is a beast. The basketball team will be fine. Yeah, he's a fantastic player. Totally agree. I'm sure Rick Barnes used a Kevin Durant analogy or two in his recruitment.
Yep.
I mean, like he said, hopefully Gillespie would benefit from learning from Zakai as well. That's a good point. Carl's, hey, great point. He said, please said, I think that's a great point. Hey, tell your friends about the Vol Bros. That's the best thing, man. And join our channel, like become a channel member. That'd be awesome too. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you see a really cool looking badge beside Carl's name. So we invite you to get those too. Let's see here. Wayne said win day after tomorrow and is a done deal. Okay, so I'm going to say if they win on Saturday, it's 95% done deal that they're going to host a regional. I don't think it's yet a done deal for them to be a 9 to 12 seed. I will say this, though. If they host a regional, we need them to be at least the 14 seed, at least. We do not want them to be a 15 or 16 seed. We want them to be the 14 seed so that when they win the regional, they have to go to North Carolina, not LSU or Texas. So either be the 14 seed or be the 19 seed. One of the two. You got to avoid 15 through 17. Or 15 through 18. You got to avoid those four. Because
the
15
you don't want to be 13 because then you're going to get sent across the country to Oregon, and that would be awful.
Yeah. So you don't want to be 15 because then if you win, you're going to probably to Texas. If you don't want to be 16, because then if you win, you're going to LSU. If you're the 17th seed, you're the 2 seed in the 16-team regional, so you're still going to LSU. If you're the 17 or the 18 seed, you're the 2 seed in the regional that would go to LSU. So if you're 14, you're hosting the regional that goes to North Carolina. If you're 19, you're the 2 seed in the regional that goes to North Carolina in the Supers. So ideal scenario, they're the 14 seed. I think everybody who's watching this can agree right now. Ideal scenario, Tennessee is the 14 seed. They get to host a regional and they get to go to North Carolina for the super regional. They do not have to go to Texas or LSU. That's the best scenario. We're all hoping for a 14 seed. But if you're not that, then you better hope we're the 19 seed. That's the way that works out.
You definitely don't want to be the 12. The 12 would go to Arkansas for super regional.
Oh gosh, no, I do not want the 12. Can you imagine that environment?
Yeah.
I'd rather go to LSU or Texas than go back to Arkansas.
Yep.
So come on, 14. That's what we're hoping for.
It's funny. So Vanderbilt's up 4-1. Oklahoma's trying to plate a couple more, but Vanderbilt's looks like probably might get out of the inning. So we beat Vanderbilt tomorrow. We're looking at a Michael Sharman start in an SEC championship on Sunday.
That would be awesome. So that would be, I think it'd have to have like a slash. It would be Sharman / Krenzel / Franklin, Tanner Franklin. No, take Franklin out. He'll be pitching tomorrow. He'll come in tomorrow or Saturday. Saturday will be Tegan Coons, followed very quickly by Dylan Loy, followed very quickly by Tanner Franklin. That's what's going to happen.
They would have Nate Snead available on Sunday.
Agreed.
So, and they probably have Arvidsson available for an out or two. But yeah, it's going to be Michael Sharman and Nate Snead on Sunday.
Let's see here. So Wayne agrees. He said, okay, let's do 14 seed. I'm with you, Wayne. I'm with you on that. That's the one we got to hope for. Because then you don't go to Oregon. You don't have to go back to Arkansas. We get to go to North Carolina. And so that's the ideal scenario for Tennessee. Send us to a place where the ACC plays baseball. That's where we want to go, because Tennessee can walk out on a field and win 2 out of 3 games in any ACC stadium anywhere. And so that's where I want to go. Send us to the ACC. Let's see. Josh said we should just win the whole SEC tournament and then get a top 8 seed. Now, I would love that. I just don't think they can make it happen.
No.
I mean, they can't. Unfortunately,
they're not going to jump. They're not going to jump 13 spots for winning the conference tournament. That's just not going to happen.
Agreed. Is there recency bias in the committee? Of course. Yes, there is. But you also can't erase the last 5 series that Tennessee has played on a weekend. You just can't erase it. So, would I love them to get that high? Yeah, I would. I just don't think it's possible. He said he just wants Vandy in a super regional. Man, can you?
So that's going to be interesting too. So right now, if everything holds true, right now Auburn is the 8 seed and Vanderbilt is the 9 seed. So technically right now, Vanderbilt would be going to Auburn in the supers. Now, what'll be interesting is with Auburn getting beat today, will that affect it? And, because Vanderbilt's probably going to win tonight, will they flip-flop them and make Vanderbilt 8, Auburn 9, and make Auburn go to them for the supers? We're going to see how much credence the committee puts on this tournament. I don't think they put any, to be honest, but it'll be interesting to see if they legitimately do put credence on this tournament and alter the rankings because of it.
Let's see here. Rhonda said lucky 14. That's what we want. I mean, if the rankings stay the way they are now and Oklahoma stays the number 3 overall seed, that's where you want to go. I'm sorry, not Oklahoma. I meant North Carolina. If North Carolina stays as the number 3, you want to go to Carolina. Send us to the ACC. Send us to the ACC. Let's see. Wayne said maybe we can throw mustard bottles at the older Snead wide receiver transfer walk on while we're there. Dayton Snead. Orange and white game MVP back-to-back seasons, and now he's trash talking Tennessee as he goes to North Carolina. Wayne said he's just kidding. I knew you were kidding, buddy. Yeah, I still can't believe the guy was running his mouth about Tennessee, but nothing shocks me, I guess, anymore. Josh said, do not pull Coons early if he is rolling. Oh yeah, man, let him go. That's an ideal scenario for Tennessee. If you have a pitcher who is rolling, I mean, we saw it today with Arvidsson. If he's rolling, you leave him in there, because that means that you're saving arms for future games. So yeah, if Deegan's rolling, they're going to let him go until he ain't rolling. Let's see here. Jonathan said, if we make it Sunday, I think basically everybody but Phillips and Doyle will be available Sunday. Probably. At least for an out or two, right? So probably so. And AJ, I don't think they'll put AJ Russell back out there. They're going to save him. They're not going to put that wear and tear in his arm. But everybody else, you're right. Absolutely. You'll have people coming in to hit one to face one batter, and then they're coming out of the game. It's going to be very much strategic, matchup pitching, righties throwing to righties, lefties throwing to lefties, that kind of thing. Josh said, where do y'all get your seeding from? D1 Baseball had Vandy as the 3 national seed.
D1 Baseball top 25, their final rankings. And yeah, I agree. They put a premium on RPI. They put a premium on strength of schedule and record against top 25. I disagree with them having Vandy as the number 3 overall seed, though. I don't think that's going to happen. They can't. I'm sorry, you can't make a case that Vanderbilt's the number 3 overall seed when they're not even third in their own conference. So that's just not going to happen. I think sometimes D1 Baseball, especially Kenny Rogers, does some things to generate clicks, and things like making Vandy the number 3 overall seed. Stuff like early in the season when they kept listing LSU number 1 and Tennessee number 2, when literally every other ranking had Tennessee number 1. They do some stuff for some clickbait, but with that number 1 RPI, I could see Vandy being the 8 seed, maybe even the 7. But there's some teams that are going to have some major complaints. Like if they front load the SEC in the top rankings, the ACC is going to lose their mind, because they've got some teams in the top 25. They've got North Carolina and Florida State that they think can play with anybody. They can't, but they think they can. And, I would not want to be on that committee. This is going to be really hard to lay out.
I mean, like you said, I need some battery-powered lights, and you are correct. I do. Carl said win the SEC tournament and maybe get the 14th. Absolutely. That's the goal. Get that 14th. Whatever seed sends us to North Carolina or Florida State, that's the seed that we want for a super regional. Host a regional. That'd be awesome. And then go to an ACC school for a super. That would be fantastic. Let's see. Mr. Jones said, the genius of Tony Vitello playing possum until the postseason. Then we defend the title back to back. Good to see you, Mr. Jones. Good to see you, man. Josh said the polls are irrelevant. It's the metrics that orders it 1 through 16.
I wouldn't say they're irrelevant.
Yeah, I can't agree with that.
Yeah, in baseball, the metrics definitely play a bigger part than every other sport. But I mean, they put the polls out there so people can start predicting. I'm talking coaches can start predicting where they're potentially going to land when the brackets come out. So the rankings are going to be relatively close to whatever the polls are. But there will be some movement based on metrics. Again, RPI, the baseball puts a higher premium on RPI than any other sport. So, that it'll play into it.
Yeah. I mean, here's the deal. Humans are the ones ranking the teams in seeding the teams in the tournament. Humans are easily swayed by recency bias. Humans are easily swayed by national rankings. I mean, that's just the way it is. If we know anything about college athletics based on the last 40 years, it's the poll they matter. Like the polls matter when they're seeding teams, the polls will matter. And so
I will say in baseball, probably more than any other sport, and I said this probably 3 weeks ago on here, the baseball committee is probably the best committee of all of them as far as actual knowledge of the sport. You had people on the NCAA basketball committee that didn't know basketball from a hole in the ground. You've got baseball guys on the baseball committee, and the eye test does matter to them. They do put a premium on the eye test as well.
Josh said AJ Russell and Arvidsson won't throw again. I agree. AJ Russell will not throw again. Arvidsson, they might.
Yeah, today's Thursday.
Saturday.
Yeah, today's Thursday. By Sunday, if they make it to Sunday, he could get you an out or two. Russell's done, but Arvidsson could come back for even possibly one inning.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a situation where you've got, runners on first and second, and a left-handed hitter coming up, and Krenzel's in the game at the time, and you don't want a right-handed pitcher throwing to, or whoever we have, it's a right-handed pitcher. Tanner Franklin, is he right-handed? I can't remember. I think Tanner Franklin's right-handed. So
Yes.
let's say he's in the game and he's throwing, and you want to bring in a lefty, you might can bring in Arvidsson for one hitter, and then take him out and put Dylan Loy in or something. I think you could probably get one hitter out of him, but they will not put AJ Russell. I agree with that. They will not put him back in the game. Wayne said, yeah, Arvidsson's probably done as well. I'd agree, Josh. He threw fantastic, but that pickoff throw, me pulling my hair out. Yeah, I agree. The pickoff throw, the thing about it was it just wasn't even close. Like, that was the deal.
Liam did it too.
Yeah. Well, like when Arvidsson threw it over there, I mean, he airmailed it by like maybe 10 feet over the over Andrew Fisher.
Liam's wasn't any better. His was completely uncatchable. It just wasn't high. It was wide right.
Yep. Mississippi Vol like this. When I was talking about Dayton Sneed, he said, yeah, a guy who has one more catch in his career than me running his mouth about us makes sense.
Well, and let's be honest, the only reason he even had a walk-on spot was because they wanted his younger brother. Like, it wasn't because of his incredible playmaking ability.
Mr. Jones said, we showed Texas who the real UT is. Absolutely. Wayne said Arvidsson had 9 Ks. Absolutely, man. He threw an incredible game. It was best outing of the year. Totally agree. Easily his best outing of the year. But more importantly, he threw 73 pitches, 72 pitches, something like that.
Yeah.
That's why he won't pitch unless it's like a desperate situation. That's why he may come in for 1, maybe 2 hitters, and not until Sunday. Forget Saturday. He ain't pitching Saturday. It would be a really tough spot they're in. We need somebody who can come in and get 1 out kind of thing. And that's it. That's all they would do. If even that. Let's see. Mississippi Vol said, thinking about changing my handle to Titans Bills phone. Only a few of you will get that. Yeah, that's a deep cut, man. I get it. I know what you're talking about. Jonathan said, I would hate for him to burn his house down for a podcast, even if it is the best podcast out there. Eric said, what's up, Vol Bros? Tennessee baseball beats regular season SEC champs. Great to be a Vols fan. I so wish that I could pull up what you can see on YouTube right now, because he's using all the emojis and I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm actually going to upload. I think I get to upload 2 more tonight. So I'll upload a couple more emojis tonight and get those on there for y'all. I think I'm going to upload me and Ruston. We have, here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if you join our channel, the membership badges, you get the Smoky Gray badge right out of the gate. A month in, you get the Summit Blue badge. And then 2 months in, you get the orange badge. 6 months in, you get the dark mode badge. That was pretty sweet. Then a year in, you get Summit Blue and orange. And then the creme de la creme, 2 years, the checkerboard. And the custom emojis, these are what they look like. All of those are already available. The whole top row is already available. And I believe the Vol Bros one over there is available right now as well. The honorary assistant honorary bro are coming. Me and Ruston, so that's Ruston in the blue shirt, me in the orange shirt, which actually we're wearing those colors tonight. and then that's Sadie the unicorn for my daughter, her golf bag, if you saw that cart cam. So I'm thinking about uploading me and Ruston tonight as the next 2 emojis. Let's see here. We'd love for you to join our channel, by the way. Speaking of that, we have our first ever watch party coming up for our watch party fan members. We had a members only live stream with them last week, but our watch party's coming up, and we're going to be giving away every time we have a watch party. We're going to give something away, a new merch. And so I'm going to show you right now the new merch that will be given away at our first watch party. Look at the new hat we got. Look at that. Look at it. It's beautiful. So this is so fresh that this is just an artist rendering, essentially, what it's going to look like. So you've got the Richardson 355 laser perforated performance rope cap. Love it. It's a white cap with a white rope with black flecks in the rope across the front with puff embroidery, orange GBO with puff embroidery, black outline around the GBO. It is a sweet looking hat. I'm actually ordering myself one tonight. This literally just came on our merch store today, this afternoon. We got the message from Oak and Twine. Shout out Oak and Twine, by the way, locally owned business right here in East Tennessee, right outside Chattanooga. Family owned business. They do such great work, and they are the people who make every single piece of merchandise that we send out. So if you order our merch, you are literally helping a family owned small business right here in Tennessee, not some big box thing. No, right, locally owned right here. So beautiful looking hat. I'm going to order one for myself. The good news is we have another one coming too in a different color with a little something on the side of that one that I'm really excited about too. So I can't wait for you to see that. It'll be coming in the next few days. But this one is now available. And on our watch party that's coming up, Ruston and I are going to figure out, it's probably going to be next weekend. But for that watch party, we're giving away this hat at that watch party. So very excited about that. So if you want to be a watch party member, we would love it if you join us for that. So let's see the other comments we had coming through here. Josh said he thinks that Auburn drops below a top 8 seed.
He fixed it on the next comments.
Georgia. Oh, Georgia.
So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Georgia also, because right now Georgia has the number 2 RPI nationally. So that, like I say, I would not want to have to be on this committee because these teams have made this very difficult for them.
Yeah, I don't see how they. I mean, if they drop Georgia out of a top 8 seed, then that means they're putting a whole lot of credence in what happens in the SEC tournament. Georgia had a phenomenal season. That'd be surprising. Sam, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He said y'all are looking too far ahead. Who's available to pitch this Saturday?
Coons, Krenzel, Loy, Franklin, Crabtree, Banky, Breedlove. They got plenty.
The first 4 you mentioned are the first 4 that's going to pitch that game. That's going to be Tegan Coons, followed by Dylan Loy right out of the bullpen. And then I think after Dylan Loy, you're going to see Tanner Franklin come in. So it might be 3, honestly. It might be 3 dudes. But I think those are the first 3 you'll see coming out of the bullpen, or the first 3 on the mound, rather. Let's see. Carl said, make it to Florida State for Supers and make shirts with Burke's check swing on it. Love it. Done. Done. If it happens, done. Let's see. Oh, Mr. Jones. No. Mr. Jones said, is Zakai Ziegler going to take a discount deal to remain a Vol? No way I could see him in another uniform.
He's already got established NIL products. He can just keep doing what he's doing.
I agree. I would never see him in another uniform.
Where we're going to really benefit is the fact that Justin Gainey's on staff at UT. Because Jordan Gainey doesn't have to occupy a scholarship spot. He can be a walk-on and be a faculty kid, basically, and get the tuition discount for a full-time employee's child. And his NIL will more than cover his tuition. So, Jordan Gainey's actually going to be the bargain. He's basically going to go as a traditional student.
Minalaki agrees Zakai will not leave Vol Nation. He ain't going anywhere. If he plays the college basketball next season, it's going to be at Tennessee. And I don't think he'll have to take a discount deal. I think he'll get so many sponsorships from local businesses that will take up more than enough to make up for NIL stuff. Bobby said, if we win the SEC tournament, I think we should get moved up. Yeah, no doubt. If they win the tournament, they're definitely going to be moved up. No doubt. How far up is yet to be determined, but for sure. Wayne said, yeah, Arvidsson could have some situational pitching, but just not any length. Agreed, totally. I mean, you ain't going to come in. He's not going to come in and throw 3 or 4 innings. No, by no means. He'll have a hitter or two max. Josh said, do y'all agree we have benefited from playing in a bigger ballpark this week?
Yeah.
I think with our power arms, the big ballpark suits us because you don't get any cheap home runs.
I think it's actually 2 things. I think it's what you just said, but also, our guys have been swinging the bat well, and balls have just been right at people. When you got to cover more ground, gaps get bigger, and I think we're finding those gaps finally. We're not swinging the bat any differently than we were 2 weeks ago. We're just finding holes. So, and that comes with playing in a bigger space. So, yeah, I think it's helped us in multiple ways.
Well, I think we saw that happen today. There were a couple balls that were hit today that if we had been in Knoxville, they would have been home runs for Texas. So, of course, you could also say that about what Tennessee did too. But yeah, I agree. I mean, it definitely, you're right. The harder the ball comes in, the easier it is to get out. And we got dudes that are pumping it in there upper 90s, and it's easy to hit home runs. So I 100% agree with you. I do think we've benefited from playing in a bigger ballpark. Mina Laggy made a good point. She said, I think $2 to $4 million sounds like a really great deal to me. I agree totally. That's what's estimated for Zakai if he's able to come back. Josh said, I feel like all but one of Vanderbilt's home runs in our ballpark were super cheap ones that don't get out of most parks. I think you can probably say that about a lot. That's the one beef people have with Knoxville. That's the one beef people have with Tennessee's baseball team. Like we hear it every year. Oh, they play in a small park, that kind of thing. Let's see. Josh is excited that we're going to get to play Vanderbilt. I agree, man. Absolutely. Nolan said, y'all still streaming? I had time to eat dinner and everything and still get to watch the bros. Best Fall Sports channel on YouTube. Hey, we appreciate you, man. That's a good channel member right there. So Nolan is on vacation and he noticed we were live. He ate dinner and now he's back with us and we're still live. So it's been fun, man. Josh said that you can hear the whistler on TV. Yeah, you can hear that. Man, that dude is he's so much fun to listen to, isn't he? Eric said the Volbros emoji isn't available right now. Well, I'll fix that. For sure. Let's see. Oh, Mr. Osborne liked the Go Big Orange hat. I do too. I love it. Y'all want to see it again? Boom. There it is right there. How about that? I absolutely love it. I love the laser performance mesh hat. I think that's really cool. A lot of people are making hats like that now. And just in case anybody watching would like to get that hat, I just posted a link directly to it on Facebook and YouTube. And I will go to Twitter, X, and I will do the same thing right there. So if you are watching on X, you now have a link directly to that product in the comments on this live stream. Let's see here. I love that hat, dude. I love puff embroidery. It's going to look so good. I will be rocking that thing all the time. Carl said, sick hat. Hey, I appreciate that. Mr. Osborne said, I'm getting that hat. I appreciate that. Here's the thing. If you joined our channel before or by May 16th and you have not yet used your member discount code that you got for just joining our channel, this would be a perfect opportunity. You get 25% off that thing. If you've already used that discount, but you're a Watch Party fan member, then you get 15% off all the time. So you could get that hat for 15% off anyway. So benefits of being a channel member. Wayne said he loves the hat, but he cut the rope off. I love that. So here's the thing I like about that rope. I like the fleck, the black fleck in it. So you got the fleck matching the outline of the GBO. I like that. That's pretty sweet. Now, if you were wondering, if you're new to our channel and you were wondering what these other hats were, So on the headwear page there, we also have these smoky gray and dark mode goat hats. It's puff embroidery goat with Tony Vitello's number in the middle, 22. So we love those as well. Really like those. That is a Vol Bros exclusive design. So very, very proud of that one. Let's see here. Mr. Jones. So Mr. Jones, his affection for Joe, his affection for Joe Milton has always been super high. I say that tongue in cheek. He said Joe Milton will be this Cowboy starting quarterback. Yeah, we'll wait and see about that. Eric said that Go Big Orange hat is sharp. Vol Bros have to get me one. Hey, I appreciate that very much. I agree. I love it. And I'm gonna be totally honest with you. The next one y'all are saying the hat's not available? A couple people said it's not available. They tried to click on it. What? Hang on now. So I'm trying to buy right now.
I'll do it. You keep going through comments.
It let me buy it. It let me put it in my cart and start the checkout process. John said that hat looks awesome, but the goat hat is still the goat. Yeah, I like that. That's what I'm talking about. I love that goat hat too. Let's see here. Josh said, I think Austin Breedlove starts Sunday. I agree. I think he will start as well. I think that's a good call. I think that is a very good prediction. Mr. Jones said, I bet Joe Milton can get 3 outs just on nothing but heaters.
They weren't saying the hat wasn't available. They were saying that Vol Bros emoji isn't available.
Oh, gotcha. The Vol Bros emoji. Okay, so I'll get that one on there too. I'll check tonight and see how many I can upload, because the amount of emojis available is directly proportional to how many people are channel members. So right now, I know I can at least upload 2 emojis. I'll check and see if I can upload a third, but I'll get me and Ruston on there, our emojis. And then if we can upload a third, I'll put the Vol Bros one on there. Or would y'all rather have y'all can tell me, would you rather have the honorary sis and honorary bro emojis? Would y'all rather have those? Or would you rather have the 2 of us? You'd probably rather have the honorary sis and honorary bro ones. So y'all just tell me in the comments there, and then I'll do whichever ones y'all want. Because I know right now I can at least upload 2. Let's see here. Let's see. Like you said, I'm a diehard Joe Milton the third fan. Wayne said, if I may ask y'all's opinion on the kick Tennessee out of the SEC with all the lawsuits, what is your view or opinion on that?
Never happened.
Yeah, so Rustin and I both agree it's not going to happen. We have different reasons why we don't think it'll happen. I'm more of a purist, I guess, in this regard, and he's more of a dollars and cents person in this regard.
I'm the pragmatic one.
Yeah. So I said I don't think it'll happen because Tennessee and Alabama are the 2 founding schools of the SEC. The SEC was founded in Knoxville. Like, I don't see how they can kick them out. Rustin had probably a much more accurate reason why. What was your reason again, Rustin?
Greg Sankey's all about the money, and Tennessee's the 3rd largest revenue producer in the conference.
That's probably it. That's probably why. Let's see here. John said, I heard if everyone hits the like and subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and tell your mom and him, it will help the baseballs and softball teams play better. I love it. I think that's exactly right, actually. I think there's actually some scientific data to back that up somewhere. I think you're right on the money. Like you said, I missed touchdowns on the first drive. That's what I'm talking about. Agreed. And she said, agreed. Tell your mom and them. Absolutely. Sam said, my wife says someone needs to bring a didgeridoo to annoy the whistler. Josh is exactly right. He said Sunday will be a game where every guy gives you 1 to 2 innings. Game is going to take 5 hours. You're exactly right.
There's going to be a lot of warming up.
There will be 8 bajillion commercial breaks. Daniel, welcome. We're glad you're here. He said, don't tell me you think Texas's colors are brown too, with a horns up emoji. Daniel, I'm assuming you are a Texas fan. He said your play-by-play guy thinks it's brown, not too sharp.
Play-by-play guy. Those were ESPN's commentators.
Yeah. He said Texas gave that game away just a little off to end the season. Hopefully they can get dialed back in. Thanks. Obviously Texas is a great team. Obviously Tennessee's a great team. But what I don't understand, and Daniel, maybe you can enlighten me. I do not understand the Texas fan base's utter disdain and terrible feelings towards people giving them the horns down emoji, or not emoji, just sign. Like, why is that so horrendously offensive to Texas fans? I have to know that. Please let me know in the comments. Do we think Texas's colors are brown? No, I don't, because I'm not colorblind. I think that some people on Twitter were making a joke earlier this evening talking about how Texas color is baby poop brown.
It's not baby poop brown, it's dog poop orange.
And so I think, people were making a joke earlier. Do I think it's brown? No, I don't. I don't think it's brown. Like he said, burnt orange. Yep, that's what it is. It's burnt orange. You're exactly right. So Daniel, we're so glad you're with us. Super excited to see how far Texas goes. Hopefully y'all make it to Omaha, and hopefully we see you again in Omaha. How about that? That'll be a good time. Wayne said bye. I think Wayne likes the goat hat. I love the goat hat. Let's see. Dester said the smoky gray goat hat is the best. That's the one that Ruston owns. Ruston owns that one. I got the dark mode one. Let's see. Eric said he wants us to put the Vol Bros emoji up. All right. That's good to know. I think he's talking about when I gave the horns down. Or maybe, I don't know what he's talking about at this point. Let's see. Jonathan said, has anyone seen Mr. Jones and Joe Milton in the same room at the same time? Oh, that's pretty good. He said, I think all of All Nation appreciates Joe Milton more now after the Nico stuff than, before. I totally agree with that. Totally agree. Carl said he thinks our emoji should be the final bosses. That's good. I like that. Josh said, don't the schools have to vote to kick them out? I don't think the commissioner can do it.
Sure, but who has all authority in this conference? I mean, Greg Sankey is the end all and be all, and whatever he says is what they do. I'll give you a great example since our Texas friend is on here. When Texas was looking to join the SEC, A&M and Arkansas were adamantly opposed to it, to the point that A&M was saying they were going to leave and go to the Big Ten. And Greg Sankey went and sat down with both of them. And when it came time to vote, somehow it was unanimous. So Greg Sankey 100% controls everything.
Nolan said, so would a win over number 23 Bama, number 2 Texas, and a win over number 9 Vandy be enough to get us in the super regional convo if we win Saturday? I personally, I don't think we can jump that high in 1 week. I just don't think we can. Do I think we could potentially get close? Maybe, but I wish we could. I just don't think we can. Daniel said our broadcast team said Tennessee is up to number 9 RPI. Yeah, that is.
They're number 13. The comment was made that after beating Texas, they could get as high as number 9, but that hasn't been adjusted yet.
And that's number 9 RPI. It would not be the rankings, that kind of thing. The national seeding for the tournament, that would still be a massive jump. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I like this, Daniel. I'll give you credit for this, man. This is pretty good. When I did the horns down, okay, actually, Wayne, this is pretty funny too. Daniel said, Josh said it's time for the iPhone to make a horns down emoji. Let's see. Tim said horns down. Mina Laggy said because the NCAA is stupid. That's exactly right. Daniel said hook 'em and don't be jealous. Wayne said jealous of what? Elimination. That's pretty good. I gotta give him credit for that. And I like this. Daniel's twisting it around. He's playing the old switcheroo on us here. I like this. He says even a horns down is still a hook 'em horns. There you go. Listen, man, if people are mocking it, just turn it around and say, well, that means the same thing as this. So there you go. I like that. Way to switch it up on him, man. Josh said Texas is dirty orange and Tennessee is bright, beautiful orange. Jonathan said he agrees with your assessment of the Texas color. Sam said Texas orange is landfill cover material. Carl said burnt cow chip orange. Mina Laggy said she had Wilkerson on play-by-play. Carl said Sankey does hate us. Tim said Texas is rusty orange. I actually think that's a pretty good analogy right there. Burnt orange is almost exact same as rusty orange. So I think that's a really good comparison. Josh said, here's a conspiracy theory for you. If Tennessee doesn't host, it's because Tennessee's suing the NCAA left and right. There would be no other justification. I think it's actually not a bad theory. Daniel said, horns doesn't bother me. It's still our trademark. That's the funny thing. They portraying our trademark. I'll take it all day. Embrace the hate. Well, there you go, buddy. I respect that. You have a much different opinion than your previous basketball coach because he complained about it to officials during the handshake line after a basketball game. So he's like, do you see what they're doing? Do you see what they're doing? So I respect that, Daniel. Good job, buddy. Way to embrace it. That's good. Mina Laggy said, Sankey doesn't want this smoke. Let's see. So, John said, I think the Vols run the SEC. We just let Sankey say he runs the SEC. Let's see. Mississippi all said, guys, just think about it for a minute. We've had somewhat of a down year, and we still have 40-plus wins. And whether we host a regional or not, I prefer that over 25 wins and an 8-22 SEC record any day. Yep. Amen, brother. Amen. Carl said, sounds too close to Ruston Orange. Or tonight it would be Brangrav Arvid Keelan. Let's see. Wayne said the Vols is more of a hunter safety vest orange. Apex Predator colors, baby. Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. We got 245 people watching across all three platforms right now. To all of you watching, thank you very much. My guess is Reed must have just retweeted our.
He did.
Yep, he did.
An hour ago.
Reed, you're the man, dude. You are the man. Carl said Vol Twitter would have Sankey mute his Twitter account. He's actually probably right, actually. Well, we're so glad everybody joined us this evening. Just as a reminder, if you would like to have one of these brand new, let me go back to that real quick. See if I can get back to it. If you would like to have one of these brand new Go Big Orange puff embroidery hats with laser perforated side, the rope across the front. If you would like to have one of those, you can go to thevolbros.com/shop. I put links to these earlier. It's such a good looking hat. I'm so excited to get one for myself. Very excited about that. And I have very exciting news that I can officially confirm tonight. If you have been joining us, then you know that we've been talking about this for a while. And as of today, it is officially official. August the 28th. It's the Thursday night before the first football Saturday. We will be hosting a SEC football trivia night as our live show from the Oldewall Club. And so that's very exciting. We're excited to do that. They're going to have a room full of folks, and we're going to have a trivia night right here on our show. Everybody, both in the room with us and online, will all get to partake in that trivia game, all playing against each other. It's going to be an online format. So if you're watching online that night, you'll probably want to have our show on one screen and your phone playing along with us, because you're going to really enjoy it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Just so you know, it was something about that. What was it? I can't think of it. Oh, well, I got distracted by some of the comments, I think, there. Sitting there reading those. I will put the honorary sis and honorary bro emojis up tonight, since I can do two. If it'll let me do a third, I'll get the Vol Bros one on there as well. Let's see here. Rhonda said, y'all have a great rest of your weekend. Good job, bros. Appreciate that, Rhonda. Hope you have a great weekend as well. Mr. Osborne said, as always, excellent show, Vol Bros. We appreciate you, Mr. Osborne, so much. Watch Party fan member right there. That's what I'm talking about. Eric said, good night, everybody. Hey, man, appreciate you so much. Sam said, go Vol. Lady Vols on Friday. Absolutely. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, ESPN2. Going to be a tremendous game. Let's see. Josh said if we win Saturday, we would have played in 4 of the last 5 SEC championship games. Insane run. Absolutely, man. Fantastic point. Great point. Carl said, great show, Evan and Ruston. Have a good night, bros and sisters. Hey, appreciate you, Carl. You're the man, dude. Hope everything's going well for you down there in Florida. Let's see. Daniel, glad you're with us, buddy. Hey, hopefully we'll see you again in Omaha. How about that? Wayne said, good night and go Big Orange. Absolutely. Jonathan said, great show as always. Can't wait to see everyone again Sunday. Glad you could join us. Bring Gav, Arvid, Keelan. Hopefully we'll be talking about the softball team, baseball teams winning. Amen, brother. Amen. Amen. Carl, I like those emojis, buddy. I like them. Josh said we got to beat Vandy, Nebraska. Absolutely. Mr. Osborne, great question. I actually asked that question today. They said, will locals have an option to attend in person on August 28th? Potentially, yes. It all depends on how many people RSVP when they send it out to all the Oldewall Club members. And so if there is room available after that, then they said, yes, we could open it up to local people also joining us. But it all depends on how many people RSVP. Yeah. So maybe we'll see.
That fire marshal tends to get angry when you go over those numbers he posts on the walls.
Yep, for sure. But hopefully we'll see. John said, good night, everybody, and go Vols. Absolutely. Hey, that's cool. Josh said he's probably going to go down to Hoover on Saturday. That's awesome. I agree with me. I hope it's all orange.
Saturday will be a good day to go. If you end up staying for Sunday, take it from somebody who did it last year. Get there as early as humanly possible on Sunday, or you will not get a seat.
Yep. They oversold it quite a bit last year on Sunday.
By a couple thousand. And the ushers, like people were walking around going, that's my seat. And the ushers were looking at them going, just find somewhere. Like it didn't matter what was on your ticket. It was just find somewhere.
Let's see. Mr. Nolan using that Go Vols baby emoji. That's what I'm talking about. Mr. Osborne said absolutely understandable. Yeah, I hope it's open, man. I really do. I'd love to see you there. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Mina Likey said, love y'all. Great show as usual. Hey, I appreciate that. We love you too, Mina Likey. Thank you so much. Wayne said, do subs cost anything? Subscribing to our channel costs $0. So we would very much appreciate it if you would hit subscribe. That would be awesome. Hey, man, tell your friends about us. That's the thing. Like text a buddy about the Vol Bros. We'd appreciate it. Josh said, especially if it's a Tennessee LSU finals again, those fan bases travel well.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but even and they did, and there was a lot of it was that, but I was shocked at how many locals there were. Like it was packed with locals who had no affiliation with either team.
We appreciate all of y'all so much. Go grab you a Go Big Orange hat. I'm going to do the same thing. That's literally what I'm about to go do. Wayne, I think, just subscribe to our channel. Appreciate that, man, so much. Love having you with us. Josh said, great show, guys. Hey, we appreciate you, Josh. Thank you so much, man. Love having you with us too. Me, like you said, subs do not cost anything. That's exactly right. 100%. We appreciate you all so much. We hope everybody you beat me to it, Matt. You beat me to it. He said, go Vols, baby. That's exactly right. We hope all of you have a fantastic evening. Go Vols, baby. Go Lady Vols, baby, tomorrow night. And then go Vols, baby, on Saturday. And hopefully the Lady Vols win a series on Saturday. That's the hope. So we look forward to seeing everybody very soon, Sunday night at 9:00. We look forward to seeing you then. Everybody have a great evening. And we will hang on. There it is. I couldn't find my outro thing. I just found it. It's not like I've only done this 220. This is 221st episode or anything. Matt said, peace, y'all. Hey, appreciate you, man. Tim, go Vols. Good luck to Lady Vols softball. Absolutely. Thank you, man. Appreciate you joining us. Good night, everybody. Go Vols, baby. And we will see you all very, very soon.